in in prison, in metal fab, in places like that on Cofield is where I learned to work, and I learned to appreciate work for the purity and the value of working. I never had that before. Like I was always a lazy ass when I was free. I was always trying to get a free ride or trying to steal some shit or trying to do some stuff to get by. Prison, Cofield in particular, and metal fab and maintenance is where I learned the value of hard work just for the sake of work and for the sake of growth and learning. It wasn't like I didn't feel bad because I didn't get paid because nobody's getting paid, but um, I learned like, hey, this is cool, man. I'm learning something. I got people I work with and that I care about, and I went to work, and that was cool. So okay, you work, and then about 11 o'clock, it's lunchtime. So we're going before we go into the building, before we leave the metal fab, we have to strip. They call it butt naked Cofield. So you're gonna get naked nonstop. Um, so you go into the building, you go into the D space, 24, 25, 30 at a time. I don't know what the number is. So you go into the building. Sometimes you're going to get stripped again. At this point, you don't even give a fuck. You're just gonna get naked. Then you go into the chow hall, and once again, you're working and you're hungry, and you go into this chow hall, and they have a chicken patty for you. It's a chicken patty like you get on your McDonald's chicken sandwiches, little tiny thing, just about the size of the pancake. You'll get some green beans, and you'll get some beans, and you get a piece of cornbread. And the cornbread is like about that big, if that big. It's a 5,000 man unit. It's a 5,000 man unit. They feed a lot of people, and they steal a lot of food. So you're not getting a lot of portions, but you're eating your lunch, and you're hungry, so you're eating everything. You mix your cornbread up with your beans, and you take a bite, and you chip a tooth because there's a rock in the beans. um, that's fine. That's the stuff that happens in the chow hall. So you have your couple of minutes before they're screaming at you to get out. You get out, and you go back to waiting on the wall, and then go back into D space, and they're going to strip you again. Strip, strip, strip. And some people they'll take stamps from you, like if you have your stamps on you. Some people are, I mean, granted, it's Cofield. Like there's some shit going on Cofield. There's people moving drugs, and there's people doing all kinds of stuff. So they have to do the stripping. I understand that, but it gets annoying. So you get stripped, and then you go back out to the metal fab, and we get stripped again. Start working, get dressed, start working, and then work a little bit, But like I told my boss, I said, man, you have. I told my boss, I said, you see the guys in there, right, that I have to live around, right? He's like, yeah. I said, you see a lot of the big guys. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm a little white guy. I'm going to lift these weights. I'm going to lift this iron, throw this iron around, try and get stronger. He's like, okay, well, just don't let me see you do it, and you're good. That's the type of stuff that you can you can do. Like I would get to a point where I was done with my work, and I would work out, and we would take the metal and make weights and do stuff with it, and that was fun. Like you get two or three buddies, and you work out together, and then day's over, get out of them again, get naked, go back to the block, and you go back, or you go to chow. You go straight to chow, and then you go back to the block. And I forgot about the shower. You go to the shower with your coworkers. Well, you get. Is this boring?
No, no, keep going, bro.
You look bored.
No.
But so you go back to the building. You go to the D space, and they take you directly into the showers, and then they take you directly into chow. And that's the good thing. That's one of the best perks of working, because you can shower twice a day, and you can go to chow and not have to wait until chow, because Lord have mercy, dinner time. They start feeding dinner at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and they don't stop sometimes till 7:30, 8 o'clock at night on Coffield. It's a nightmare. And a lot of times I didn't have commissary, I didn't have food, so I had to go to chow. And so you go to chow and you come back. And sometimes, if it's good or if the COs aren't paying attention, you can dip back into the line and get some more food. And believe me, it sounds like the wrong thing to do, but really, bro, they are starving you in there if you go to the chow hall in Coffield. That I'm not exaggerating on the lack of food, the lack of they feed you the bare minimum there, and they expect you to work like you're getting paid $100,000 a year. But after chow, and if I was blessed enough to be able to dip back in line, I'd dip back in line and then go back to the block. And then you get ready for two things. Me, I had school a lot, especially on Coffield. And I could talk about school a little bit. If you pay for a class on reimbursement, if you sign up for a class on reimbursement, you pay on your release. And the Trinity Valley Community College, really, really great institution, really great school, really great teachers, would let you take another class for free. So I would take 2 classes a semester because that's all I could afford. I couldn't afford. Now the reimbursement works like this. If you make parole, you pay it back as a part of your parole fees. If you don't make parole, you don't pay it back. They don't get it. Now a lot of people I know have complained about people getting college reimbursement and not paying back their college. You have to realize that they're not letting people go home on parole a lot of the time. So, I mean, I'm sure, listen, I had every intention of paying back my loans, which really, when I got into college, was the reason why I thought it would be a motivating factor for them to let me go. It wasn't a motivating factor for them. They didn't care. So I would get ready for college. So I get my stuff together, get my books, and go wait in line to go to school, or go wait in the day room to go to school. They would call education out, and you had to beg them and plead with them to call education. You have to show them proof that you have education, and you had to beg them. And they make it so fucking hard to do the right thing in there. They make it so hard to do the right thing in there. They make it so hard to get to school just to get you into the school building. So you beg and plead and you wait and you wait and you wait, and they finally call you and you're almost too late. Sometimes you're too late and they just let you out and you're running down the hallway and they stop you. Where are you going to? I'm going to school. It's too late for that. Go back. Go back. I'm trying to go to school. It's not my fault. I can't let myself out. I can't let myself out. So you hustle and hustle to get out. Otherwise, you'll be turned back. So you go to school. If you're able to get in the schoolhouse, you get in there. They don't strip you, but they pat search you. And if you're early enough, a lot of times, so I was on Coffield for 14 years. So after a while, they let me do pretty much what I wanted to do because they knew I was not a problem, or they thought I wasn't. But so they would let you in. So you talk to your friends and you talk shit, and you do the dumb stuff that we do, and then you go to class. And you go to class, and let me tell you something about most of those guys on Coffield that were going to school were good students, were hardworking students. They weren't there to bullshit. They were there to learn and grow. And that's inspiring to me. I saw some guys with tattoos on their faces, gold grills, and just intellectual as hell. I mean, smart as hell. And you would be amazed at some of the talent that's in there. Like it's crazy. But and the willingness to help guys who aren't in position. Like I never looked at myself as a smart person. So I'd always get help from guys like that. And so you go in there, you take your class, you get your homework, and you go back to the block. So my thing was, I get back to the block. I either want to go to rec if I can, if it's outside rec, because they have gym rec and outside rec. And nobody wants to go to gym rec because gym rec sucks. You got one machine for 500 guys, and you got a basketball court. Everybody fussing and arguing and fighting and doing stuff. But you have the rec yard, which is huge, and you can go out there and you can visit with friends, and you can work out, which I was big on working out. But it's better than being in the cell or being in the day room. I was not a day room guy at all, except for football, and we'll get into that. Hook 'em. So, so you go to rec, you work out, you kick it with your buddies, and you wait for them to let you back in. You go back in, you go to the cell. If you have a cellie that didn't go to rec, hopefully he gets out of the cell and lets you have the cell to wash off. You get in the cell, and if your cellie is good, you go into the cell and you put your curtain up, you hang your sheet up, which you're not supposed to do, but I mean, you're not going to expose yourself to people on the bars. You have the bars, and just anybody could walk by and see you. So you put the curtain up, and you fill up the sink, and you clog the sink, and you take your cup and you pour water. And they don't have hot water in the sink, so you pour cool water, room temperature water on you, and you rinse off, and then you lather up a little bit, hit the hot spots, and you rinse off again, and that's your shower. You have to steal a towel. They won't let you bring a towel to the cell block. You have to hide your towel. They'll give you a case. They'll write you a disciplinary case. They have these disciplinary cases. Some of them are okay. Some of them are understandable. But like, if they caught me with a towel, they're going to write me a disciplinary case, which if I had enough of them, it could affect my eligibility for parole. A towel. You shower, generally they shower one time a day. Yeah, I mean, anyway, but I'm digressing. You dry off, and then you get dressed, and then you get ready for bed. So a lot of time I would get ready for bed. I would either do my homework, study, or I would read. That was my thing. For my first few years at Coffield, the radio, it's in Tennessee Colony, Texas, which is by Palestine, whatever you want to call it. But it's East Texas. So there's the radio signal was not very strong. So you get real familiar with Delilah. I don't know if anybody knows who Delilah is,